So yeah, it's probably got a pinned thing from the other day when we were live on the laptop. So it's probably got a pinned comment. So I do apologise if it appears quite a bit. Um, I'm just gonna um, mention tonight's guest here. But yes, for those who don't know who I am Hoppers. I'm the voice and the face of Hoppers Motorsport Vlogs. I've been doing this for 6 years as of this weekend. But as I say, we are having a guest on this evening, so hopefully things go well and people can join us this evening from 8 o'clock. We have Chris Hartley, who some may know him from doing BTCC circuit commentary, like he did at Alton Park over the weekend, and he's also the English commentator for DTM. So we're going to talk about that. I think Chris, in his early years, did some karting, so we're going to figure out what that was all about, and obviously some of a few things. Also, being a beloved Wolverhampton Wanderers fan as well, so hence why I've got the retro shirt on this evening. But yes, we should be all being well and jumping into the live video this evening. But as I say, let's hope we start off at end Thursday very well. As I say, we're doing the 6 year celebration tomorrow. So hopefully, fingers crossed, in a little while we'll get tonight's guest on. But if I need to result to it, then I can technically fire up the laptop if needs be. But it might take me a while to connect to that. But hopefully, touch wood, we don't need to this evening. But as I say, I'm live at the moment for for tonight's guest. But as I say, I'm going to just I might just even while I'm here. Well, I don't know why I've unplugged it, but I might plug. Excuse me, what? Move around. But I might plug in the laptop and then try and jump onto that as well. So yeah, I'm just hoping that people are aware. Give me 1 second, I'm just going to boot up the laptop just in case. Okay, he's not got the link. Da, 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 da. Do I live in a roof? Yes, I do, Kev, yes. Give me 1 second. I'm just trying to figure out how I send a link um, to our guest this evening. Give me 1 second. Just give me 1 second while I figure it out. Just give me 1 second. I'm going to have to try and tag. If there's one fact, guys, I'm just going to boot up the laptop as well, but that's taken for a while. Don't know how I can send a link to them live because being on the phone and not the laptop. If anyone can copy and paste the link to the Facebook page for me, and then I can, or this live video, then I can easily do it. You know, the laptop wasn't slow. I could easily send it. Because the laptop's slow at the moment. Right. Cheers, Kev. Much appreciated, mate. Thanks, bud. Evening, Tracy. How you doing? It's very difficult for me because I can't, share it for some reason while I'm live as well, which is frustrating. Yeah, not too bad, Tracy. I've got a few things ongoing at the moment regarding work. But other than that, I'm doing all right. There he is. He's in. Let's get him here. We'll add you in, Chris, because, you are here now. You might just have to accept it. There we go, Chris. How are you doing, mate?
Hello. I can't see you, so 1 out of 2.
Yeah, well, I think it has Facebook has these glitches where I can't see you and you probably can't see me, but we'll crack on.
That's it's probably just as well for you if you can't see me.
It's fine, mate. How you doing?
I'm good. Yeah, great. Sorry, the tech was faffy.
No. Don't
Welcome to
apologise
my
for that.
world.
It is what it is. I have issues every time, and it don't all frustrate me. So don't worry about it.
Good. Yeah, no, I'm good. Thank you. Yeah, recovered from
Yeah,
another good weekend at BTCC at Alton Park.
it was a bit manic, I think, in my opinion.
It was a bit. Well, it always is Alton Park because you don't start till on Sunday. You don't start till 12, so
Yeah,
it gets a bit busy for the afternoon. It's non-stop.
yeah. I can imagine.
Yeah, it's good. Good
Yeah,
weekend though.
yeah. I think the weather spiced it up in race 3. I think
I
in my
suppose pretty much supposed the whole weekend. I can't remember many sessions where there weren't at least some threat of rain or a little shower or it dried up.
yeah,
So yeah, it made it interesting. I think not all the
yeah.
drivers and engineers like that. I don't think.
No,
Head scratching in the pit lane.
yeah. I think there's one particular driver. I think Mr. Sutton wanted it to rain, so he got rid of the hards for race
Yeah,
3, which, people were saying, well, was that really a tactic by him, or was it really team, well, not team tactics, but his own tactics? But fair play to him, he wanted it to rain because I don't think he likes the hard tyre. I
yeah.
could
No,
be wrong.
I think it was definitely in the plan. Probably for a couple of people thinking of that as well, because even though the forecast was pretty ropey all weekend long, it never did what it was supposed to do. But it always said that once you got to sort of 3-4 o'clock on Sunday, there was a lot more chance of rain. So it made sense to take the risk at least to try and get rid of them
Yeah, of course, yeah. It's,
or
it's
not
quite
use them.
interesting. Yeah, it's quite interesting because my pal Robo used them in race 1, and I thought, oh, he's probably planning a different strategy and stuff like that.
Mm.
But then again, I think because he qualified 15th, I think he was like, well, let's get the hard tyre over and done with and then go from there.
Yeah, it kind of worked for him, didn't it? It went
Yeah,
it went forwards in the second race.
yeah,
Um, yeah, it was quite interesting because obviously Shedden had the same idea. Really, he'd saved his soft. He got rid of his hard in the first race from the back of the grid. He
yeah, of
was on.
course, yeah.
He wasn't very happy with Alan when. Well, not with Alan, but when Alan said about the rain coming, he was like, I can't believe this. I've saved my soft tyres and it's raining. But I
Yeah,
thought
yeah, of course, yeah.
he drove a pretty fantastic race on front pole.
Yeah, he did well, to be fair. I was thinking, well, was he going to get away and carry on and try and get this win? And then, yeah, he did. So, I think Jake Hill's going to be a bit disappointed, having a bit of a moment, shall we say?
Yeah, he after you wouldn't have seen this unless you were on the start finish straight, and you wouldn't have seen it on the TV coverage, I don't think. But after the race, he came down the pit lane to my end underneath the commentary box by the pit lane exit, and he looked really dejected, like he was stood on the pit wall just staring into space for a little while. It was a big opportunity for probably a good podium gone, really.
Yeah,
Hello to Tracy. I can see the messages now as well. So,
yeah. If the comments are going too fast, don't worry about trying to catch up. But people probably will say hello to you and stuff like that.
oh,
So,
great. Yeah.
you know, but yeah, I don't know where we're going to start because you do commentary for BTCC when you can. You do the English commentary for DTM, which I want to know a bit why it's gone GT3.
Mm.
I heard that you did open karting of some sort back in the
Yeah,
day.
back in
So
the Victorian times. Yeah.
we can't go that far, mate. Come on.
Well, it
But
feels
no,
like it sometimes.
but yeah, but obviously, we can just have a bit of a chat about whatever you feel comfortable with and what you
Yeah.
feel happy with.
Yeah. No, we started with BTCC. I've been lead commentator for 10 years now. 2006. My first day was Ash Sutton's first day on the job.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
At the media day at Donington Park, where he first sat in a touring car and almost finished the day quickest till Mr. Matt Neal pipped him
That's
right at the
right.
end of
That's right.
the
Yeah.
afternoon. So I've been tied in since then. I do most of the rounds. You usually have to miss a couple a year because I
Mhm.
also, as you say, I also did DTM, which I did before touring cars.
Okay.
So yeah, if I sort of contractually obliged to go and do DTM if there's a clash. Unfortunately, there's I think 4 clashes this year, so it's been
Well, it is what it is, isn't it?
yeah, it's been a strange start this year. I couldn't do the first round because it was a DTM. I did Brands Hatch, and then I haven't been back since then until Alton Park. But I've got a run of doing most of the ones in the middle of the season now, apart from Knockhill. Unfortunately, I missed the last round, which is really annoying. But there's another clash. But yeah, it's just the way it goes sometimes. The joys of being a freelancer. You wish you could work everywhere at the same time, but you can't.
Yeah, well, you can't split yourself in two because that would be definitely painful to do, wouldn't it?
Quite hard.
But yeah, I remember Snitterton 2023 when I first heard your commentary.
Right.
And I thought, that's a chap I've probably want to get on here because I've been doing this as of 6 years this weekend.
Oh, right, okay.
So I thought, well, I'm trying to branch out and get to know people from different spectrums of motorsport, not just the likes of Matt Neal, Jason Plato, whoever. Jason Plato won't come in here because he's too busy. But but it's just like I want to know different aspects of different people. To be fair.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's lots of people involved in the periphery and different aspects you wouldn't necessarily know how it works. So I'm happy to talk about all of that. Tracy's just asked what was been the most outstanding moment for me in the BTCC. That's tough. There's a lot. A lot.
That's the thing. I just should have warned you, prepared for killer questions.
Yeah. I'll do my best.
Get them quite a lot.
I think I can tell you my favourite race, and that's quite a tall order because there's a load. But I always remember the race in 2019 at the end of the season, last race of the season, reverse grid race at Brands Hatch, and Ash Sutton and Josh Cook, who of course had been teammates originally when Ash came into BTCC.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And yeah, Josh would have been in the Astra, in the Power Maxed Astra at the time, and those two had just an unbelievable race. I mean, they seemed to overtake each other on every corner. It's one of those races where it's the last race of the season, championship's done and dusted. They're not involved in worrying about points. So just go and race. Great. And passed each other all the time. I've lost count of how many times they overtook each other. And then a proper photo finish at the line. Can't remember how many thousandths of a second, but it was only a couple of inches between them. And they're two, in my opinion, two proper drivers. I mean, obviously Ash is Ash. I mean, he's broken records. He's going to break more, I'm sure. And Josh is a fantastic driver. I always love watching him. I always put him down as one of those brave drivers for me. You watch people at a certain corner, like Paddock Hill Bend, for example.
Yeah.
And he's, the last of the late breakers. And if there's a move on, he'll go on the grass if he has to, he'll go on the curbs. And that's my favourite kind of driver, really, where they just throw caution to the wind and go for it, which is what touring car racing should be. Yeah,
it's fascinating because obviously I've celebrated 26 years of being a fan of that because, it's something I've loved and adored from being a little lad to now 35 years old. And it's like, it's never disappointed me one bit.
No.
There's been times where I've gone like, oh yeah, well, such and such could have done better at this, such and such could have done better at that. But it's never really been a major factor where people have gone and said, well, what is it about BTCC that brings everyone back in their thousands? It's hard to put my finger on it half the time.
I think it's a few things. I think it's the consistency. I mean, you're almost guaranteed there's going to be, there's 3 races, at least 2 of them are going to be really good. You might get the odd one there's not much going on, but there's you're always going to be entertained. I think the way it's set up in terms of the access that the fans have is great, and more championships are following that now. You get some championships where you can't get near the drivers, but obviously we have the pit lane walkabout usually on a Sunday morning. But I see it all the time. You walk around the paddock, the drivers might be walking from the garage to the team bus or the motorhome or somewhere else, and they'll get stopped and ask for a photo or a selfie or an autograph, and they're happy to do it. Really happy to do it. And, for the kids especially, like if you've got 4 or 5 year old kids there, they're going to be fans for life because they're meeting their heroes, and it's not often you can do that in any sport.
No, well, you can't do that in F1 unless you're
No.
Like really, which is a big disappointment. But that's why I find Formula One a bit, I hate to say it, but a bit of a bore fest, because you can't really see the drivers and you can't get up and close and personal with the cars.
No.
Whereas BTCC, you can go and do pit lane walkabout. Yes, okay, the cars are getting worked on, but you can see them getting worked on, and you can see what they do to like from the driver's perspective.
Mm.
You know, the amount of times I've obviously I go and catch up with Dan Rowbottom every time I'm there if I can.
Mm.
And he's always like up for a chat. I get to chat to his dad, and I just think, well, you know, I wouldn't have it any other way.
No, it's fantastic.
And that's what I like about the BTCC. The drivers have time. Yes, they rush off their feet sometimes, but they have a couple of minutes.
Mm.
And that's what I really enjoy.
And the fans seem respectful as well. They never seem to, be pushy and asking, when it's obviously not a good time to ask somebody if they've had a bad round or they've got to rush to get to the grid or whatever. So I think it works both ways, which is great.
Yeah. There's some times where you feel like, oh, I'm gonna have to be quick. It's like last year, 24 at Snetterton, Dan was just about to go out for FP2, so I managed to get a quick picture, but that wasn't a problem. I was like, fine, you've got to go. And then I catched him after he won at Snetterton for the first time, my first witnessing his race win this year.
Mm.
And I literally broke down in tears before he came round. After he finished, I was like, oh my God, what have I just seen? And my other half's like, I kept saying to her, is he going to win? Is he going to win? And Jen was like, calm down, he's going to win it. And I was like, can't believe it. It was like, how unreal.
So you're a proper fan.
Yeah, I have been for years. I've watched him 2008 at Croft in the Seat Cupras, and then after that it all went quiet because the budget ran out. And then when he came back in 2019, sent him a message with his Cataclean T-shirt, and he said, "Love to catch up if you're ever at a circuit," and we have done ever since. So, and that's what I really like about him.
Yeah, no, I've got a lot of time for Dan. He's a really nice guy. I've kind of got a connection with him because I first watched him race when he was like 10 years old, something like that, when he was karting. Yeah. And he was a really good karter. If you've read his bio, you'll see how many titles he won. And,
he's the same age as well. He's a few months older than me, so that's why I get on with him.
Yeah,
for numerous reasons.
And he's a Midlander, so that always helps.
You can't discontinue that, can you?
Yeah.
If you can tell, I'm wearing the retro one this evening. It kills two birds in one stone. It's got the Goodyear tires on it, and
absolutely.
I was thinking, which one do I wear tonight? Do I wear just a basic Wolves t-shirt, or do I wear the retro one? I thought, the retro one's going to be quite fitting.
Retro, it will be 90s.
Stevie Bull era this one. So.
Oh yeah, the greatest of all time. We won't bore everybody else with it, but
we won't do that.
One of my absolute heroes, all-time sporting heroes. And just quickly before we bore everybody else, I did meet him once. Weirdly, at a countryside garden fete, they'd agreed to host or do some Q&A and present some prizes just in Cutsall, just outside Wolverhampton.
Oh yeah.
And this is after he'd stopped playing. And my mum was involved in organising it somehow. And she said, would you do the Q&A with Steve Ball? I was like, yeah, I'll be there. And do you know what they say? Never meet your heroes. He was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. He was nice as pie, chatting with him when we weren't working, when we were, walking around. Really, really nice guy. My only regret, Andy, is that I never saw him score a goal live, which is ridiculous, given how many goals he scored. But every time I went to I couldn't go that often at that age. But I used to go a fair bit, and I never saw him score a live goal, which really annoys me to this day. Just going back to Robo, I've got a massive amount of respect for him because he's worked so hard to get to that grid, and I know he's not the only one. But there are a lot of stories like that. But I spoke with Alan Hyde about this probably at the Brands Hatch round, I think, when we were talking about him. And I remember when he was in Clio's at Rockingham, and the weather was awful on the Saturday. He'd done qualifying, and the wind was blowing all the awnings, and he got this little Cataclean awning that he'd set up, and he got all these leaflets and things that he was trying to stop them flying away in the wind, or trying to hold his awning down on his own whatsoever, because he got all these guests coming the next day, and he's just doing that on his own. There's no ego with him at all. Just out there working really hard to make his dream come true. And lots of drivers also do that, and some aren't able to do it because sadly it's not cheap sport, is it?
No, it's not. No. And I think, given obviously this season, he had that obviously open heart surgery at the end of last year. Fair play to him. He wasn't sure what was happening with all that, because one minute it was like, he was scheduled for it, then it got cancelled, and then he went in again, and it was like, how long's the recovery? I think fair play to him. And I think this is why everyone enjoys him, because he's a likeable guy. And I think, given, being in his shoes, like obviously trying to make it work, and look what he's done. He's fourth in the championship.
He's had a great start, hasn't he?
Yeah. It was a bit scary at first, thinking, well, this year, because of obviously the bad luck of 2024. It was like, oh, is it going to happen again? I kept shouting at the telly every time when I wasn't trackside last season, thinking, here we go again. A couple of swear words here and there. I even said a few at Snetterton because it didn't go to plan. And it was just like, and then what a different makes this year. We probably jinxed him now, bless him.
You get runs, though. You get runs in motorsport. It just seems to be, you can do what you want and it'll go wrong every time. It'll be a mechanical issue. It'll be somebody else crashing into you, just some bad luck. You just seem to go on these runs where they all come together and you have 4 or 5 bad meetings. And then, and then eventually it'll come good. Like, if you're good enough, it'll come good. You can't keep having bad luck, but it is annoying. There's not many sports where there's so many other elements that can come into play. If you think about, say, a tennis player, if they lose, it's because either they didn't play as well as they could have, or maybe the opponent just was a bit better on the day. But with racing, you've got 1,000 variables of things that can go wrong with the car. Somebody else can make a mistake and ruin your day. You can make a small mistake, which you can't really get away with. You can get away with a mistake in a football match and still win the game, but you can't in a race because you're off the road and you crash the car. So it's difficult.
There's a lot of factors to take in with the BTCC, which I've noticed throughout the last couple of years. Take, for example, track limits.
Oh, don't tell me. Don't talk about track limits.
Well, track limits is another thing that really annoys me, is when you see it on TSL, like when I was listening to you and Alan Hyde and all that on Soca Live on Saturday, I was like, let's see, such and such has gone off, but now the time's been this long. Oh, it's now for track limits. It's like, oh, here we go, the dreaded track limit.
I think it was a Porsche sprint race at Brands Hatch. Somebody had some track limits warnings and then went off the road into the gravel trap, properly into the gravel trap.
I
can't remember who it was now. He got back on, but then it pinged the track sensors. So then he got a track limits penalty, 5 seconds. That's sorting to the wounds. The guy's just lost about 20 seconds going through the gravel trap. It is what it is. I sort of understand it, but it is frustrating.
But then it's awfully frustrating when you like. It's like I watched qualifying on Saturday for the BTCC, and it was like, oh, next minute track limits comes out, and then someone's lost all the times, and then because of this quick 6 qualifying, it knocks them down off either out of the bubble or in the bubble, and it's like, someone else's gain from that is your worst nightmare, and it's like, but don't get me wrong, I like the quick 6,
half an hour session, you could come back and still get something out of it, but you can't.
Because it's like 10 minutes, and it's like 10 minutes isn't long enough in my opinion, but
it's not really 10, is it? By the time they've gone out and done the warm up, and same lap times, you get 6 or 7 minutes. Really, that's it. It's pressure. It's exciting, but it's definitely an added stress for the drivers and for the teams. I'm trying to keep a look at the questions that have popped up.
That's fine, mate. It's fine.
Lee asked a while ago if you could have a passenger ride with any. He asked you as well. Any BTCC driver, past or present, who would you have a hot laps with? I mean, does Nigel Mansell count as a touring car driver?
Well, he did back in the day, but I can still let you have that if you want.
Yeah, I mean, he's my all-time hero. So, but if talking full-time drivers, I think I would like to. I was always a fan of racing in the wet. When I was karting, I was all right in the wet. I got most of my best results and things when it rained. I loved the feel of driving in the wet. And you already mentioned Ash Sutton is like an immense driver in wet conditions. Got his first win in the wet. Got his first podium in the wet at Croft.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So I wouldn't mind a prop. I mean, it'd be scary, but a proper wet lap somewhere. Go on Croft, round Croft with Ash Sutton in the wet. How about you?
Well, blatantly obvious, Mr. Rowbottom.
Oh yeah. What did I ask?
But I don't know where though. I think probably something like Knockhill, just for the sort of roller coaster emotion.
Yeah. Hello, Mike Creasy's on. Hello, Creasy.
Yeah,
he wants to come in the commentary box. You are always welcome.
Here a lot. But
always welcome in the commentary box. Absolutely. So where am I next? Croft, isn't it? Yeah, Croft next.
Yeah.
If you're up there, you're quite a long drive for Michael, I imagine that. But
I can imagine it's a long trek for you, most places. But, Croft isn't far from me because I'm only in the Lake District. So I'm about an hour and a half away. But that week. Yeah.
Ah.
Might not seem it being a Wolves fan and whatnot, but you know.
Yeah. That's a bit of a trip to get to a home match, isn't it?
I did it a few years ago where we were in the Championship and I had to stay over one night. I was like, oh. But I did the stadium tour a couple of years ago, which was quite nice. So,
yeah, you moved to a beautiful part of the world anyway, so that's good.
Oh, yeah, of course, mate. It is what it is, but
I
get the mitt taken up by the other half because of the accent. We have a bit of a conversation now and then.
Tracy's asked what shocked us the most this year, or who has shocked us the most this year? Sorry.
Yeah, it's an interesting question. I bet you answer that one.
Yeah, shocked. I don't get shocked very easily. Surprised. I mean, I wouldn't say shocked, but I've been. I mean, okay. The only thing I was shocked at was before the season started. I know Charles Rainford a little bit.
Yeah,
I've seen obviously from his Porsche days, but does a lot of coaching as well. So I see him at Ferrari Challenge events.
Oh, okay.
No idea whatsoever that he was going to turn up in the BTCC. I mean, it wasn't even on my radar. So that shocked me. And then I thought, well, this is a tough championship to come into. You know, you've done historic racing, you've done really good things in Porsche Carrera Cup. Not shocked, but pleasantly surprised how quickly he's found the pace. And I know the BMW isn't great everywhere at the moment. Obviously, a fantastic weekend at Brands. But if you look at his pace and performance, he's not far away from the team leader, Jake Hill, who has obviously had a few seasons in that car and more in the championship. So
and now he's got to ring it in because of being team leader now, hasn't he? He's now got to like literally say, well, hang on a minute, this I'm team leader now, But the thing is, I think, like you say, Charles has adapted to that BMW quite quickly. Now I actually really thought he would have done myself, and there's been a bit of, I'm not going to say team orders, but I think between him and Daryl de Leon at Brands, where they both won a race each, it just shows, it might take them, it took them a while. I'm going to be honest, Aidan Moffat for me has been a bit of a 50-50 moment or two in that car at the moment.
He was really quick in practice at Brands, wasn't he? And then he was going well in quali, and he just made that mistake, and then
he just binned it, didn't he? Yeah,
but he was quick, and he's got quite a good chap coaching him this year, I understand, Mr. Turkington. So he'll get there. I think he'll get there, but it's not easy at the moment because they're not quite there with the car, are they? They'll get there, though.
No.
I mean,
well, I think given. Yeah, it's not disrespectful to do USR, and this is not disrespectful to anyone else on the grid. There's a lot of competition out there, regardless what you're in. the Napa cars seem to, like 2023, they dominated bar one qualifying session.
Yeah.
Then, look at the likes of WSR last season with Jake. It seemed to just somehow click, but now it just seems that accelerator somehow got that high and I gelled up. It's anyone's game at the moment, regardless who's winning the championship, in my opinion.
There'll be some twists and turns as well. No
I
doubt
think there
about
will be. I think there will be. Come the end
Yeah.
of the season, I think there'll be some surprises.
Everybody probably is going to have a bad weekend somewhere. There are a few drivers that haven't really had a bad weekend yet, so they can mix it up.
Yeah, of course.
Some very different tracks coming up as well. Croft's its own thing, Knockhill's its own thing. So,
Yeah, of course.
they'll all do.
Still a
All
while
sorts
to
of
go
things.
yet. Still a while to go. 5 races, five rounds to go, and how many other races to go?
And although I'd love to see Michael in the car, he hasn't had as much running as he should have had this year.
No.
Senna Proctor, I think, has been mega since he came in. Back in, he's done really nothing for 4 years, and he's come in and he's got top tens in all the races he's done this year, all 6 of them. So I think he's sort of reminded everybody how good he is.
Yeah, my kid Obal's done all right getting that win at Snetterton, to be fair, which probably surprised a few by many because of how it started for Power Max this year. They weren't sure whether they're going to be on the grid this year. They thought, oh, major sponsors been lost somehow. What's next for us? And then they managed to pull a deal before media day to then say, right, we're on the grid again. So,
an amazing job.
Story.
Yeah, an amazing job by Adam Weaver and the team. A real kick in the teeth. Sponsor drops out last minute, and they think they're all going to be there. They somehow pull it together, end up with 2 cars on the grid. But for the first weekend, they got 1 car on the grid. They didn't really have any pre-season testing,
no,
compared to everybody else. Not away from the official test. And then Mikey was pretty quick about Croft, wasn't he, in the pre-season test?
Yeah.
They've got a win out of it, so it's a really good story, actually.
Oh, it is, to be fair.
Yeah, and they made that car fly last year, didn't they? I mean,
didn't half make it fly.
The independence, didn't they?
Yeah.
Mark has asked if the rule loophole with that change to the Jumbos, are they going to be as quick on the straights? Good question. We'll find out, I guess. I mean, everybody's been very quick to say no rule has been broken, etc. But it's a bit of a grey area, and they're going to have to tweak it a bit. We'll see. I think it's genuinely a quick car though, and there's a pretty quick driver that's leading the championship fight for them as well.
Yeah, I think that's the thing, isn't it? You've got a quick driver in that car, and like I read it the other day, and I thought this is really confusing because why all of a sudden has it been picked up at the halfway point of the season?
Yeah,
but it is what it is.
I imagine it would have been somebody else from another team spotting something and just mentioning it.
Well, I have no idea. I don't jump on that bandwagon. I tend to keep that to myself.
Yeah. But we shall see. My gut feeling is they'll still be quick, still be up there.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool, regardless.
Good news. Creasy says he might be back in the car.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I mean, I'd love to have you in the commentary box, Creasy, but I'd rather you were in the car. I know you'd rather be in the car as well. So.
I think he would rather be in the car. I think he tries to hint stuff and then tries to say other things. I know what Michael Creasy is like because he's been on here before.
Let's get him out.
He's been here since day one. To be fair, he's actually been part of the vlog community since day one. So
yes, and he's another guy that has to work really hard to try and get everything together to get out there.
Yeah,
it's a very frustrating part of our sport. There's so many people that go by the wayside that don't even get out of karting really. Could have been really good drive, but you need the money, you need the backing.
Yeah, you do. There's been a few. I'm going to be honest, Chris. There's been a few. I'm not going to say disappointments, but there's been a few drivers this season that have shown potential in pre-season, such as Max Hall, to be honest, and he's having a few baptisms of fires each race weekend he goes into.
Yeah, I mean, made everybody stand to attention that pre-season test, didn't he, when he went top of the times? Yeah. And it's just a big step, isn't it? He hasn't done that much racing. He was good. He was very good at minis.
I'm not disrespecting the lad. I think he's a great peddler. I think he's having a few moments where, you know, look at Alton Park, for example. You know, and then of course a couple of meetings. You know, and it's just been what it is. But you know, he's learning his craft every time, and I think it is a big sport compared to one make stuff, and you know. But he might pick it up, and he might do better second half of the season. You just don't know. I think obviously, you know, like I say, it's no disrespect to him. I think he's just learning the category. So
yeah, you've got to give him at least a season. It's such a high level. I mean, you've got to consider that pretty much all the grid have been winners in other categories, or I mean, more than half of the grid have been winners in race winners in touring cars. They've been champions. They know how it works. So the level is absolutely mega. You take some drivers that might be maybe in the second half of the field in most races. You stick them in another championship, they'd be winning pots all the time. And it's a big step. He hasn't done that much racing. He did. I mean, the only guy that beat him in the mini challenge last year was Mr. Mini, Dan Zielos. So he's good. He's also, I think, like a really great addition to the championship, to the paddock. He's full of character. He's quite cheeky. I think he's going to grow a fan base quite quickly. But you need time. You can't. And we talked about Charles obviously coming in and doing a great job so far in the BMW, but he has got quite a bit of experience of different things, albeit not touring cars. But Max is, you know, I think he'll get there. But I think
he will.
Yeah,
I think, like you say, give him time. Like I say, there's no disrespect to him. It's like at media day when something went wrong. He somehow noticed it went wrong and then dealt with it accordingly. And I think that's what surprises me, that someone that can pick something like that up quite easily and then, you know, sort it out. This is what probably teams look at. Think, you know what, if you know there's a problem, you know, we can sort this out dead easy. But he's not been like disaster. He's just having his moment where he's bedding himself in for what's to come, I think.
Yeah, it's just been a few mistakes that have come at the wrong time, really. And it's so hard if you can't get through qualifying, you know, trying to make your way through that field where often there's less than a second between 17, 18 of them in qualifying. If you look at the times, it's hard to come through. So that, I mean, it's always the thing when a driver comes into a championship from another championship, say Formula 4 from karts, say touring cars, it's getting qualifying right. Once they can do that, you used to see in Formula 1 a lot, and Formula 4, sorry, a lot, where somebody who's had a not a great season, first season, wasn't really scoring points. They have the reverse grid race, they're on pole position, and they get a win or a podium. Because once they're up there, they're as quick as anybody, but it's just getting to the front through qualifying in the first place, which is tricky bit.
Yeah, I think it's just gelling with the car and how things characteristics, I suppose. Which, don't get me wrong, you know, I have a lot of respect for anyone on that touring car grid, whoever they are. It doesn't really matter. You know, they have the right to be there regardless. You know, they've got their stories to tell about why they're there, to be fair.
They'd beat all of us, wouldn't they?
Oh, yeah.
We wouldn't be able to beat them, that's for sure.
Well, we couldn't beat the likes of Robo, Creasy, Shed and Matt Neal when he was in his prime. You know, I think some people would be like, hang on a minute, we could easily do that. Well, virtually you probably could, because most of them have a sim.
Yeah.
So we probably still wouldn't win a chance.
No, it's a really high level. Well, that's the great thing about it, isn't it? That's what you pay to go and see the best of the best in touring cars. And we've been blessed this last, you know, you got the guys in there like Tom Ingram and Ash Sutton until this year, Colin Turkington, Shedden's back. You know, there's some, not just top drivers from our time, they're some of the top drivers from all time that are racing at the moment.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I wasn't expecting Gordon to come back. I was expecting never see him again, but sort of not like come back this year to think, well, you know, he's one of the older lot on the grid this year. And if you put pen to paper, and if Colin was still there, then they'd be up against each other as being one of the oldest. But
Yeah,
it is what it is. What it is.
he still got it. He showed that on Sunday, didn't he?
Well, he did. He didn't half, and it's like, here we go. I was a bit concerned when obviously with the Corolla being not at its best previously, but it's getting there slowly. It's probably took him a while to try and iron out that crease, I think.
It's nice to see James Dorling going well as well, isn't it? He's had a
very
roundabout route of getting to touring cars, because I remember when he came into Clio Cup, which I do miss, by the way. I thought that was a mega championship, Clio Cup.
Oh, yeah.
Consistently good racing and entertainment. But he came into that championship and he absolutely dominated the first 6 or 7 rounds. He won nearly every race, and it sort of faded away a little bit second half, and Paul Rivette beat him, if I remember right. And then he thought, well, he's definitely going. We'll see him in touring cars in a couple of years' time. But he went off into the GT route in McLaren, went down that path, and it's good to see him back. Back to Plan A really, and into touring cars, which was another nice surprise this year. And he's gone well the last 2 qualifying sessions and got some decent points.
Yeah, he's been impressive, to be fair. A bit of a disappointment that obviously Ronan's budgetary or commercial issues have put a stamp or an end to his 2025 campaign so far. Which it's hard to put. Well, we know how difficult it is, but for someone that's had the same sort of issue last year, and then not race at his home circuit, or he did race at Knockhill and then he didn't race the last 3 meetings of the year. It's a bit of a worrying time for him, because it's probably like a sense of deja vu.
So, it's a sign of the times, I think, isn't it? There's so many drivers and teams that we're seeing, not just in touring cars, everywhere, that are struggling to get that commercial backing, which most of us need to have any chance to get on the grid. It's a shame, a real shame for Ronan, because he's a really good driver. I think he's a really nice bloke, and he hasn't really got the momentum yet, as he keeps falling away from him this last couple of years. Yeah,
which is a big shame, really, because you thought he got his maiden win at Prans last year, and he was kind of probably hoping when he come back this year, he was hungry for more.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, it's not to be at the moment. But you never know. He might come back next year and things might be better.
Yeah, we need a nice entrepreneur to just give free drives to everybody, and
we can
single these guys back then, couldn't we?
We could have all the legends back and stuff like that.
Mark said, isn't he third in the Jack Sears Trophy? He certainly was third after race 2. I think he was still third. I don't know if he's still third now, but he's third or fourth. Missed, but probably doesn't sound like he's back soon, does it?
No, which is a big shame, really, because I think he could have done thereabouts, I think. But yeah.
So what do you know of DTM? You ever watched any?
I've watched it back in the olden days. Back when it was like the old Mercs, the Audi TTs and stuff like that. But
okay, right, back in the proper touring car era. Then he went to Class 1. Then he went to Class 1, which were just spaceships.
Yeah.
Multi-million-pound spaceships.
Which were very unreal.
Yeah. And they just became too costly in the end.
Okay.
But the racing,
I want to try and know why it's on GT3, really. That's all.
That reason cost. The cost of those Class 1 cars was just extreme. So it's still expensive now. I mean, if you were in a GT3 car in DTM, you're looking at I think they say about 1.3 million euros, which for the season, which is about 1.1 million pounds, something like that. It's a lot.
Wow.
Yeah. But it's the closest thing to touring car racing. I know they're totally different types of cars, but actually the way they race each other, longer race.
Yeah.
But it's proper elbows out style racing. It's mega. Really good. It's the only thing that's like up there with BTCC. They're the 2 best championships for me.
Okay. So obviously the circuits are slightly different, aren't they?
Yeah, it's sort of 2/3 in Germany now, Germany doesn't
Okay.
actually, for a big country, it doesn't have that many racetracks. We're quite, you realise how blessed we are on our little island to have so many racetracks.
Yeah, of
And
course,
then so they got Hockenheim, Lausitzring, Sachsenring, which, if you've never been, highly recommended. It's a proper old school, up and down, hilly, narrow, blindingly quick course, weirdly in the middle of like an industrial estate, but it's just fantastic. Obviously the Nürburgring, but then they go and race, like the last one was in Zandvoort, and they go to the Red Bull Ring as well. So some overseas trips as well.
Okay.
The racing's just great, and they get the kind of crowds that we get at BTCC. Very similar in some ways. Both days they do because they have a race each day, Saturday and Sunday. Both
Okay.
days they have a driver autograph session, which is ridiculously busy. I think those guys about 45 minutes because they're so busy out there, and some top GT drivers in there. So I'm quite lucky, really. I get to, if I'm not doing DTM, do touring cars and see quality racing all the time. Never bored.
Never. That's one way to put it.
Better than a proper job.
It's like obviously, because DTM's all right, but obviously I need to get back into it seriously. But it's having the time to try and find, like, obviously on YouTube and stuff like that, to watch the highlights or whatever I can find. And I think given a lot of things, like all forms of motorsport, when they change the rules, it can differ your opinion of things. It's like going back to the BTCC, hybrid is no more. We have to take a turbo boost, and it's just basically like how hybrid used to work, but just named different and got rid of hybrid. So
yeah, well, everybody keeps calling it hybrid, don't they? Even the drivers.
yeah, they do. I don't understand why they call it hybrid. I think they need to put a pound in every time they call it that.
Yeah, like a swear box.
Yeah, and the more times they do it, the more money they have to put in.
I'd actually be interested to, from a fan's point of view and a spectator's point of view, how you find dealing with all the rules. I mean, I know you know your stuff and you've been following it for years, but I'm always aware that there are new fans. We get messages at Toka Live saying it's such and such his first ever touring car meeting. Might be a kid, they're loving it. So I always sort of try and go out my way to explain how it's all about to work with. Top seven. He hasn't got as much boost for as many seconds. He's got to get to a high minimum speed, and then he can't use those tires in the next race because he finished in the top three.
Yeah.
And it's I'm always worried I'm over explaining it to people that know, but I'm also
I don't think it's over explaining it. I think it's because it's your way of explaining it to the fans that are there and people who are listening at home. I made a mistake the other day. I was discussing about it to Jen the other day, and I was like, "Oh, Dan's going to end up having 3 seconds of Toka boost because he's third in the championship." It actually turned out it was actually 5, not 3, because Tingham had 3, and obviously Ash had the 1. So it's like, trying to get your head around that as well. And yes, I followed the BTCC for 26 years, but when the rules change, it doesn't half rack your brain to think, what's the next thing they're going to change?
Yeah, which is great because it's always keeping us on our toes, and obviously it works. We get all these. We've had 10 different winners now this season, I think. So
yeah,
it works. It keeps it all mixed up. But yeah, I'm always kind of aware that people might go, well, hang on a minute, why is he so slow in this race? He just finished third in the race an hour ago. What's happening? Because it's these different things that are going on in the background. But I think it works. I mean, it works. Obviously, it works because the product is good. It's entertaining, and we, probably it's going to go down to the last race of the season again.
Yeah, I'd love it to go down to the last meeting of the season because you don't really want it to be sewn up in race 1 or 2 at Brands Hatch come the season finale, because then it's like, well, it's all to play for then for everyone else. You want them to fight it out as long as possible. Okay, sometimes it hasn't been possible because that driver has a bit of a huge advantage or has a slight advantage, but then the rivals make a mistake or get caught up in someone else's problem, and that could be a sort of disaster.
Yeah,
There's been a few years where that's happened, and then it's like take Tingham last year. He took Jake all the way last year, and then somehow the car just went backwards in race 3.
yeah. Greece. It was greasy, wasn't it? The last race.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
typical Bronze Hatch season finale.
Yeah.
Weather
Damp and cold. Yeah, dark. Yeah.
damp and
No.
cold, and sort of like October time. I'll be there next year. Well, not this year, but next year, because it's actually on my birthday weekend next year. So I'll be
Well,
doing that.
perfect. There's nothing like the last race of the season where there's 2 or 3 or 4 drivers that can win it, and it's just going to keep changing. Somebody pulls off an overtake, somebody drops back, it suddenly changes the championship scenario. He's leading it.
Oh, yeah.
Now he's 2 points behind. It's a nightmare to try and keep on top of, because you're trying
I can imagine it is.
work out the points and talk. But there's nothing more thrilling than that last race of the season when it goes down to the wire. And we've had a few brilliant ones in recent years.
Yeah.
Selfishly, I'd quite like it to be all over at Silverstone this year, because I've got to miss the last round. So.
Well, put in a request and see what they can do.
Yeah, I doubt it somehow. I doubt it.
Well, I highly doubt it. But I'll tell you what makes me interested this year is when they have the LEDs for the tyres on the back window.
Yeah, it's another change.
They never used to have that, and now it gives you a good idea who's on what, because
isn't it?
It's more noticeable than trying to look what's on the sidewall of the tyre, because that sometimes gets scrubbed off.
Yes, that's quite hard sometimes, isn't it? Yeah, and I think that's a good addition. It's another example of them trying to make it fan friendly as well, and it works.
Yeah.
It's certainly helpful for us as well.
Yeah, it's like, I think a while ago I was mentioning, probably a couple of months, maybe last year, I said, well, wouldn't it be good if I think it was last year they introduced it, where when they had the hybrid, when it was running out or it was depleted, they introduced the LEDs to change colour. And I thought, I mentioned it a while ago, saying it would be good for us fans trackside to know who's got hybrid or who's got limited. And I swear Alan Gall's either secretly watching these and trying to think, oh, there's a fan that's very interested in the BTCC to literally, incorporate it. But I don't think he is, but it was good when they did, because it made us all feel at ease when I was watching it at Snetterton last year.
You could work out where everybody was at.
Yeah. And yes, I'm a nutcase. I go from the Lake District to Snetterton for a weekend. Why not? It's something I've done for the 3 seasons now. So
that's a long old trip.
Isn't off when you don't have access to a car and you think, oh, what are you going to do? But it's enjoyable. I enjoy it. Even enjoyed it even more when Robo won race 2 this year. So
We'll get some more this year. We'll get some more wins for sure this year.
I think he'll get a couple more. I think the one at Fruxton wasn't more nerve wracking than the one at Snetterton. Watching it at home, it was like, okay, then what? The emotions are different when I watch it at trackside than I do at home, and it's like, it's mad.
Edgy, yeah. Tracy's asked what my favourite circuit to commentate at is. Was that in touring car terms or in the world?
I think it's both.
Both. Okay. On the BTCC, well, in Britain, it's Brands Hatch for me. You can see, obviously, if you're on the Indy circuit, you can see everything from that commentary box in the middle of the paddock, up high, apart from a couple of spots where there are trees and a bit of a blind spot coming out of Graham Hill Bend. So you can sort of watch as the race unfolds in front of you. We get the TV pictures. I don't really look at them at Brands Hatch very much. I just look out the window because I can see what's happening. And you can see moves developing before they happen, like the corner before or 2 corners before. And the fan, it's always busy there. The fans always seem close. So for me, Brands Hatch has always been my favourite to commentate at in Britain. In the world, my favourite track to go to is the Red Bull Ring in Austria. Wow. It's the most beautiful setting. It's another track that you can see most of it from the commentary box. It goes up and down, undulates. The racing's always good there. It is pretty good. People are nice. So yeah, I'd say Red Bull Ring for me. If I was going to go and watch a Grand Prix abroad, that's where I'd go, I think.
Don't blame you.
I hope that answers the question. Have you got a favourite, Andy?
Well, it varies for me because obviously I like Snetterton because it's a great circuit, but I'm obviously partial to Croft because it's one I've been to more times than ever.
Underrated, Croft.
Yeah,
it's a great circuit, isn't it?
It's nice. It's what, and they're trying to improve it as well, which is quite nice.
Yeah, no,
you know,
always
like with all the facilities, like now getting a cafe there and stuff like that. And I think if I could go anywhere in the world, I'll have to go to the Nordschleife in Germany.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Go to the Green Hell. Not there's a couple of reasons. Just because it's something I'd probably just watched before I started doing the vlogs. I used to watch numerous car vlogs with people going around, and it just used to make me feel like this is something I'd love to go and visit. But then again, saying that Bathurst would be top of the tree, but a very, very long way to go.
Bucket list, that Bathurst, absolutely. Yeah, I'm lucky enough to do a few Nürburgring 24 hours, but we only had to do sort of blocks of 2 or 3 hours, so we got some time off. Yeah. So I got to walk around at night and watch the cars go through, see the crazy fans with their scaffolding towers full of beer barrels. It's brilliant. It's such a beautiful part of the world as well.
I can imagine. I can imagine. I keep saying to Jen, I'll just go and visit Germany just for numerous reasons, but everyone knows it's to go to the Nordschleife and, you know, potentially even go to Spa because it's not far from there either. So
no, not at all. No. You can try and work out where you can get to both in the same week. Basically, they're not that far apart at all. And he's a slight touring car link. James Gornall, ex-BTCC racer, drove me around the Nordschleife once. There you go.
Oh, wow.
Because this is back when Jonathan Palmer in MSV were running Formula 2 for that period, before it all became it was FIA Formula 2, but before it kind of joined back with the International Grand Prix package and all of that. So I did a commentary on it at the Nürburgring, and I think he was the coordinator for the championship. He was working on running the championship basically. And he'd got a BMW X3, I think it was, X2. He said, "Come on, do you want to go around?" I was like, "Yeah, go on then." So British GT champion. He knows what he's doing. Karting champion as well, British karting champion. Was like, yeah. So we went around in this. It wasn't the quickest car. He made it go quite quickly. But what I hadn't realised was I assumed that you would have sessions where cars go on, and then there'd be another session where motorbikes go on.
Yeah.
No, they all go on together. So my job was to look in the mirrors for James, because he needed to kind of look where he was going around the Nordschleife, not to bin this car. To look in the mirrors, because these motorbikes, and we were going pretty quick, but these motorbikes literally come from nowhere in your mirrors, and you think you can turn into the chicane or wherever, and a little tap on the shoulder, there's a bike coming, and this bike comes from nowhere, gets in front of you, has a big old wobble, and you think, please don't fall off right in front of us, this is going to be messy, and just to stick it and get through. And there's usually 3 or 4 cars parked up at the side where they've had an off, or they've blown the engine, or done the gearbox or whatever. So but it's I definitely recommend it, but if you're going to be a passenger, I would definitely prefer to go with somebody who knows what they're doing.
100%. It's like I read a couple of months ago, they're trying to stop the bikes going round there now because of how bad it is.
It's kind of amazing it still exists, really, isn't it? In this day of health and safety, that there can still be.
Anything could happen.
Well, it usually does, yeah.
To be fair, it's like, obviously, like I say, I used to watch obviously quite a lot of vlogs of people going around the Nordschleife, and I was like, how mad are you taking your box standard road car or your modified road car that you have to drive back over to England?
Hopefully, yeah.
In one piece, there's a guy that's famous for taking his DC2 Tegra Type R around there. He crashed it, and he couldn't take it back because it was damaged. And it was like, mate, you're spending a lot of money just going over there and whatever. And then you couldn't take it over, so you had to get it recovered. Well, get your mate to go over after coming back from there the day later.
Go and get the car.
Yeah. It's mad to think like how many people do stupid things, or well, it's not stupid. It's probably their enjoyment, but to other people, you and I might say, yeah, that's really enjoyable, but to other people, it's like, okay, it's a bit what you're doing, sort of thing.
Yeah. When you hire a car from the nearest big airport is Frankfurt, when you hire a car, you have to sign a thing to say you won't take the hire car onto the Nordschleife.
Yeah,
it's strictly forbidden because they used to do that. Hire a car, cheap, get a cheap job, and then rack it around there and take it back in pieces. Pay for the insurance, take it back in pieces, but you can't do that anymore. They got wise to it.
Yeah. I noticed a few years ago I was talking to my brother about it, and he showed me his insurance policy, and it said on there not to be taken around there, and I was like, so we can't take his little 1.1 Citroen C1 round there VTR because the insurance won't cover it.
No,
it's mental. But the amount of cars that go around there, like the Porsches, M3s, etc., and you think that's my idea of heaven. That is.
Yeah, it's not bad. Noise everywhere when you're around there because it's obviously such a long track. Just echoes around everywhere. It gives you a panic on when you're commentating. You think, have I missed the start of the race? Have I? No, it's just the tearing around the Nordschleife.
And the weather's very unpredictable around there as well, isn't it? Because 1 minute it could rain at some part, and then it could be dry at another.
Often the case, yeah.
Because was it 1 year it snowed around there in the 24?
Yeah, I was there that year actually.
Were you?
So, yeah, I was doing it with David Addison. You may have heard of if you're touring car fans.
Oh, of course, yeah. I tried to get him on here a few years ago, and unfortunately that failed.
Oh right,
because of technical difficulties, which I was very upset about. But it wasn't David's fault, We tried to plan it after he come back from Macau, and it was like, oh, unfortunately because he couldn't connect for some reason, and it was like, oh. But you never know, I might try again. Alan Hyde's been on twice, so we did mention it to you on Saturday.
Yes, you did. Yes, I hadn't realised. Yeah, he's been on twice.
He had, yeah. But this is why I tried to go one better. but no, but carry on. We were saying about when it snowed that year.
Oh yeah, sorry. So we didn't get a great deal of information, including kind of an important thing: who's the start driver, who's in the car for the start of the race. So Ada said, "Can you go down to the grid with a bit of paper and ask all the drivers or ask all the teams who's starting?" Now, quite a lot of cars on the grid at the Nürburgring 24-hour race. It's quite a big job. Half an hour before the race starts. And if you've ever seen the grid, it's absolutely rammed.
It's mad.
So I'll start the commentary. You go and find out because we need to know. Find out what you can. I will say I got all of them. I managed to get all of them. But I was on the grid, and I think it was 32 or 33 degrees. It was roasting hot. Absolutely, boy. I got back to the commentary box, a sweaty mess. We started the race, and an hour or so later, they stopped the race because it was hailing, hailstones coming down. They were on slick tyres. They couldn't get up the hills. They were just stopping on the track, going off left, right, and centre. So yeah, one of the many stoppages at the 24 hours. I mean, the weather wasn't bad this year, but they still had a 2-hour stoppage because all the power went out because it was too hot. I think. We got the aircon on.
I remember seeing a couple of tweets about it because obviously I followed it on social media, and I thought, power outage at the Nordschleife while they're racing around, what's going on? And then it's like, how can that be a problem? But then again, it's like data and such forth and weather forecast and what. But so you understand. It's like when it was foggy one year, they had to red flag it during the night because of the fog, and they had to wait so long for that to lift, and then come daylight, it was still foggy, and they still had to wait for it to carry on.
Yeah, it was about 8.5 hour race or something like that in the end, wasn't it? It wasn't.
It's crazy. I couldn't believe exactly.
Yeah. Oh, the weather is absolutely. 3 years ago, I think it was. I did in August a big DTM race there. And the entire day until it was on the Saturday, and the race was supposed to be at 1:30. Nothing happened all day because it was thick. I mean, thick fog.
Wow.
From the minute we got there, and it just didn't lift. It just stayed there, and we were all about to give up. I did about 2 hours of filling on air, and eventually about 4:30, just disappeared. In 10 minutes, it had gone. You could see everything again, and we ended up getting the racing done. But it was quite late, but we got it done. But it's just it's like Spa. It's just this weird, unique ecosystem. Yeah, and it can be all things like Spa. It can be boiling hot 1 hour, raining the next, hot again the next, dry, wet, snowing. Doesn't have seasons.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Cool.
It's mad because I remember. I think it was last year. I watched the Bathurst 12-hour. I managed to get myself to watch that. I didn't watch it all the way through, but I remember watching quite a good chunk of it, and then I went to bed and I got up around 2 o'clock our time, and it was like having a thunderstorm, and it was still racing round, and you think, what the heck's going on?
Australians, they don't care. They just carry on.
No, they don't care. Unless it's really bad thunder and lightning, then they don't care, do they?
No.
But I remember watching it, and I remember thinking, maybe I should have just stayed up, because I couldn't sleep after that. I was like, what am I doing? Watching a racing series from the other side of the world, and then
dedication.
But the thing is, it was quite interesting. I didn't do it this year because unfortunately it clashed when I had to go to work the next day, so I couldn't really afford to be awake Saturday night and then into Sunday morning and then do a shift at work and being wide awake. But yeah. It's like I want to try and watch the Spa 24 hours this weekend, but I can't do that because, well, I can, but it's difficult because, I'm not really. I'm into GT cars, but to do that dedication to stay up that long,
it's a big commitment.
I've got to prepare for.
3 back-to-back 24-hour races this year as well. It's not ideal, is it?
No. I've missed Le Mans, I've missed the Nürburgring one, and then Spa this weekend. I may catch a bit of it just to see what's going on. I watched a bit of it last year, and it's to be fair, it is enjoyable. It's not. It's not one bit. It's not one bit thinking, "Oh, this is boring," because they're doing driver changes and whatnot. It's all about strategy
and drama. Staying out of trouble. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tracy wants to know what track we'd like to see BTCC go to. Good question.
I wouldn't have a clue.
There's not many left in the UK that we don't go to, is there?
No, there isn't. No.
I mean, they'd be fun around Mallory Park, wouldn't they? It'd never happen, but it'd be fun race, I think. Might be carnage.
Yeah, might do.
Through the Devil's Elbow. I wouldn't mind that. I mean, I'd quite like to see it. How about TCR did this a few years ago. They might still do it. Using the Knockhill track in the other direction, the wrong way around.
That'd be.
That was quite good. Yeah.
I think, give it a BTCC car with some of the guys that racing there. Let me think about it. Yeah, we possibly. It'd be very weird though, but I think we'd adapt to it somehow.
Yeah, it was good. It kind of worked as a track both ways. Where else? Just trying to think of somewhere that's practical as well, really, for them to actually do it. Might have to think outside of our shores. I mean, I would like to see them around the Red Bull Ring. I've already told you I like that circuit.
Yeah.
About Hockenheim, that's like Croft. That's another really underrated circuit. The racing's always really good there. Some really quick sections, big braking zones. The Spitzkehrer hairpin where you go in at, well, if you're in a GT car, going at about 250 miles an hour, and then you're down to about 75, 80 miles an hour. And you get people dive bombing down the inside, but then running wide on the way out, and then they get retaken on the way out of the corner. It's got a big stadium section where the fans could enjoy the cars and see loads of them. So that'd be quite cool, I think. I'll have a word to see if I can.
Yeah, put a recommendation in saying, well, why don't we do an international round? Well, the thing is, they used to run at Mondello Park back in the day, and I think obviously costing the ferries and whatnot put them off eventually.
Be good.
I think, unfortunately, if they went back over there, I think it'd favour Aaron Taylor Smith because he wouldn't have far to go, would he?
He'd have a big fan base, that's for sure.
Oh, he definitely would. He's another guy that I think needs to pick up a couple of wins this year, but whether he does or not is another thing.
Given how well he went last year, and me and Alan were convinced that he was going to win a race last year. So I thought this year, that's obviously won loads of independent races, but races over. I thought, I think he might well get a couple of wins this year, but hasn't quite happened yet. I think again it will. Again, the car's coming good now.
Oh yeah, the car's coming to its own now. You never know what's to come. I think obviously new team, new surrounding, new car. It's just learning how to ride a bike, basically. Yeah,
mixed experience of drivers as well. No, absolutely, and as you said, it's a tough championship.
Yeah.
Mark says it's about time qualifying was on ITV4. Well, yeah. I mean, you should listen to the live commentary in TSL. Really, Toka Live. That's where you should listen. But we get the pictures. But it's also it's YouTube, isn't it? It's online.
Yeah.
But it's it's not cheap to put all these cameras. I think I have about 55 people ITV bring for the coverage. It's like a huge commitment, and all those cameras and all that kit. So I mean, obviously they get some of them in use for qualifying. Would be great to see. But it's very helpful to get the pictures in the comms box at the track for sure.
Yeah.
Jamie commentates for pit lane commentator for Fun Cup. He wants to know when I'm going to race again in a Fun Cup car because I've done a few, but not for a long time. No, that's too competitive for me. If I was going to do it, I'd do a full season. You can't just rock up and something like that for a weekend and expect to do well. It's way too competitive, and not cheap. So I mean, nothing's cheap. It's relatively cheap, but it's still too expensive.
Well, don't they do if I remember rightly, they do a 25-hour race, don't they? At Spa or something.
Yeah, there is a 25-hour race which I've filmed lots of times, not for a long time, but that's insane. That event, it's 25 hours because they want it to be longer than everyone else by an hour. And at the peak, they used to get 135, 140 cars in the race.
Wow,
it's quite a sight. And the weirdest thing about it was you could have a lot of guests there and sponsors and so forth. I think you could just pay for it as well. You could get a passenger ride in the middle of the race. So they had these two-seaters. They had about a fleet of about 7 or 8 two-seaters that were going out in the middle of the race with sort of local drivers who knew their way around. I got in one once at night, which was pretty terrifying. And he was banging wheels with all the people that were in the race through the chicane and stuff like that. So that was a good fun event. That's what I'd say. Fun Cup on the support package to a touring car weekend. Just maybe a 1 hour Fun Cup sprint race. Because if you're a fan of touring car racing, you'd absolutely be a fan of Fun Cup racing because it's even though they're longer races, it's the same ethos. The racing's the same sort of thing, really.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Mark said they were going to do that when they were going to run on the international circuit a few years ago, weren't they? Touring cars.
They were, yes.
Yeah, I think it would have been okay. I still think the national works best for them. Just short and sharp, get to see them a lot, keeps everybody close together. The racing's always pretty good there. So I'm not sure it would improve the racing to be on the international. Probably from a driver's point of view, it would. But I'm just thinking from a spectator's point of view. I'm not sure.
It's hard to pinpoint because 50-50 on that one. But that's just me, really, to be fair.
Yeah, I'd be good into using Abbey and Village and through there. It's a long straight, isn't it? They obviously deal with straight as Snetterton, but be a long straight down the Hanger Straight. But it'd be okay, I think. I don't mind the national circuit. I think it works pretty well. Will we ever see a BTCC night race? Even if it's just race? Well, I mean, Brands Hatch in October is getting close sometimes, isn't it, to a night race?
Yeah.
It'd be cool. It would be cool.
Yeah. Is it'd be good to see that back. But then I think they said it cost a lot because of circuit lighting, and you've got to get everyone to agree to say it can happen because of obviously depending on where you have it, I suppose.
Yeah, noise issues as well is usually a problem.
Yeah.
Curfews. So, well, maybe killing two birds with one stone. We could get Anglesey because they can run into the night, and it is a cool circuit. They need a few more, probably a few more access roads because you get fairly jammed up with 20,000 odd spectators trying to leave at the same time. But yeah, that'd be quite cool. An Anglesey night race, touring cars, beautiful track.
Put some suggestions in.
This is why we're not in charge, you see.
Tell them to hop as much what the community want to see this and stuff.
Yeah, this is why Mr. Gav's in charge and we're not. It'd be a shambles if we did.
Exactly. he has these ideas, and then we look at these ideas he brings to the table, and we think maybe.
Yeah, it's having the idea is great. It's then actually making it work, which is the clever bit.
Oh yeah, 100%. But it's weird because obviously we have obviously Toka Live this year, which I'm going to be honest is a great addition to the weekend.
Yeah, Alan's put a lot of work into that, and
he seemed really buzzing when we spoke about it on the day after media day.
Yeah,
and I find it very fascinating when I'm sitting at home on a Saturday morning just thinking, you know what, I'm going to get my comment in. Sometimes I'm the first out of the blocks and getting it in early. Not going to lie. I've done it a few times this year.
Yeah, it's great to get that interaction though, because we to a point we always used to do it at Brands Hatch, just sort of come up with a Twitter tag or X or whatever it's called these days.
Yeah.
And you get that. It was nice to get that interaction. It's such and such's anniversary, or they're getting married next week. Can you say hello? Or might ask a question about something, or shout out to their favourite driver. It's nice to get that interaction, and it's now we can do it everywhere. Now we can do it all the time, and you don't need to be at the circuit to get involved.
Yeah, and I even said to Alan, it feels like you're at the circuit when you listen at home, even though you're not. But it has that atmosphere that you feel like you're still there.
Oh, great!
And it makes me feel quite, like I can put a message in, say hello to you guys. I had to laugh when Ian was trying to find someone who travelled a long way over the weekend, and it was like someone come from Cornwall, but then someone beat them because they came from New Zealand. I was like, this is great. This is what it's all about. This is
first 5 people he asked came from about 4 miles away, didn't they?
Yeah,
then Northwich,
Northwich, Warrington, wherever, Manchester, Chester. He's like, mate, they're just local people.
Yeah.
But then if it's like me, if you said, where have you come from? I'd be like, oh well, I come from the Lake District. But then the accent doesn't add up, and he's like, but this is what I like about Toka Live. It's a great addition to everyone in it, and everyone can just, obviously within reason, put messages in. It's quite funny because when Alan mentions it, if you want to get in touch, save the WhatsApp number, and because he says it that quick, it's no disrespect to him. He says it that quick. It's like, what was that?
I can tell you what it is actually. I've got it written down, but I couldn't. I haven't memorised it.
I've got it in my phone, but then I can't. Like go and look it up now because otherwise it stops this live video. So
no, what he's tried to do is because he does a similar thing with his work on BSB. So he's trying to make it kind of a radio show. We're trying to make it into more of a radio show. So there's more of us now. It gives me a bit of a breather because it was only 2 of us doing it. You're constantly, you know what it's like at somewhere like Croft or Alton where you don't start racing till midday.
Yeah.
Every podium overlaps every start of the race, and we were getting frustrated. I think the fans were getting frustrated because you couldn't cover the first lap of the race because there's a podium still going on. So we got more people now, split it up, and gives us a bit of time to think in between sessions rather than talking about one thing and flicking your page to get your next set of grids and things up.
Oh yeah.
And it's just more. I think it's hopefully a more interesting listen because you've got more voices. We're swapping around between Ian and Matt and Josh, doing different elements of it as well. And then we get a guest. Alan gets a guest in usually, or two, so you get to hear from some other people. Some of his recorded interviews from Autoglim Tin Top Tuesday. So you should see the technology in the commentary box at Alton Park. It was like a space station. He brought about five laptops on the go. He had his audio mixer. He had all these different buttons to press for different stings and things. He put me in charge of pressing the button for the national anthems, which was slightly stressful, but it worked. An audio engineer in there. So it's a proper setup.
Yeah.
He goes up there, the sort of Thursday or the Friday before the weekend, setting it all up.
It's mad. It's mad to think how much effort goes into it, but like I say, it makes you feel like you're there and you're there in person. I listened to it first meeting at I was sat at home at Donington when they were there. I remember just listening to it in my ear on my phone, ITV4 commentary on the TV, and I'm just like trying to compare the two, but I don't mind which one I listen to, but it makes you feel like you're getting David and Tim doing ITV4. You've got you guys doing it at the circuit. It just feels like you're there regardless of whether you're listening to be fair.
Good. And hopefully it's particularly useful on a Saturday because a lot of people can only come for the one day on the Sunday. They might have stuff to do, work, might have stuff to do on a Saturday. And obviously you've only got the qualifying session for touring cars that gets covered anywhere. So if you want to know what's going on in free practice or you want to know what's happening in the support races Saturday afternoon, then you can catch it with us.
100%. It's like when I was at Snetterton. I go for the weekend because it's a great weekend. If the weather plays ball, that is.
Better this year. Apart from Alton Park, it's been good.
It was a lot better. It was a lot better this year.
Saturday at Thruxton wasn't great, was it?
No, that was probably horrendous. I remember. So I listened to it on the Saturday. I put a few messages, and then I did one on Sunday, and I somehow nearly cursed Robo for if he didn't win on Sunday at Snet, saying he had a good chance to do it because the others on the hards probably jinxed it now. But no, he pulled it off, and it was like, why have I nearly cursed and jinxed a guy that I really look up to?
It doesn't. What happens. You can't. I know. No, racing drivers are a superstitious lot, but you get it when you try an onboard camera on somebody in not in touring cars necessarily, but somewhere else. Oh no, I always have bad luck when there's an onboard camera on. You're like, well, it's not the onboard camera that made somebody crash into you or the gearbox fail. It's just that's going to happen. It's just going to happen. But they're a superstitious bunch. I get it.
Yeah. Some of them don't like to admit they are, though, do they?
No, but they all are. And you can't blame them. Like I said, there's a lot of things that can go wrong. So, yeah.
You can't.
Oh, Luke's listening. Hello, Luke. Luke Crane. Worked together in the past. He says, what a beautiful man you are, Chris. I can, but he doesn't. That's in Luke's very tongue-in-cheek way.
Fair enough.
Yeah, all good. But yeah, it's been an interesting start to the season. I think there's a twist or two to come, and you've got people like the two Dans, the only Dans that are just waiting in the wings if something goes wrong for Tom or Ash at some point. It's hard to see those two not being involved, isn't it? At the end of the year,
I think given what might happen is, I think, like you say, that them two are just waiting for something to happen. I can't really say that who I think might be the champion because that'll be just me just being biased. I'd love Robo to win it, of course I would, but
there's no point trying to guess there, is there really? Because you can't guess.
Yeah, the thing is, I could easily say, well, maybe Ash could run away with it and get his 5th title, but then people saying if he gets his 5th title, is he going to disappear? And go to do GT World Challenge because he did that a few weeks ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
no, I mean, I don't think so. I think he might go and do some other things, but I would imagine
I don't think
he loves touring cars and he wants to
Yeah.
break all the records he could break. And once he's broken, I mean, want to break some more, I think.
Yeah.
But
I
yeah,
agree.
it's like I was thinking. I think I said it on Sunday. Tom Ingram had a really good weekend, didn't he, at Alton Park? He
Yeah.
blitzed it
100%.
on Saturday, mega lap on Saturday, nearly half a second quicker than the next best, and Chris Smiley beat his own lap record by about 0.3 of a second. Did a great job in race 1, got the win on the hard tyre. Really good job in race 2 we got 4th place. So we got a win and 2 fourths and a pole. Really good weekend. Yet he's now double the amount of points behind Ash Sutton than he was at the start of the weekend. It's gone from 8 to 16. How does that work? You must think,
No
what
idea.
have I got to do to beat this guy? You know, that's what you're dealing with Ash Sutton. He's a machine. But
Yeah,
those two have been outstanding again this year.
Oh, 100%. 100%. That's the thing. It's like you might say, well, they're the top 2 of the championship, but they know what they're doing to make that happen.
Yeah, and they're both at the top of their game as well at the moment, and we're lucky to be able to watch them. I mean, they're both equally be worthy champions. But again, they're not the only ones that can win it this year. You know, they're going to be up there, absolutely. But there's still a lot of racing to be done yet.
Yeah, anything can happen. The weather might throw a few curveballs in if
probably
we somehow get this another heat wave or whatever we get.
Well, you never know. No, there'll be something. Absolutely. We'll see. It's good. Yeah. It's good just watching it all unfold, isn't it? If it was predictable. Tracy says, "Who do you think is going to win the Independents this year?" Now that's going to be close this year, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, I think Chris Smiley's winning it at the moment, isn't he? So
yeah,
at DNF, didn't he, in race 3?
Mm-hmm.
I think he could win it. It'd be a great story if he could win it. That team's only been in touring cars for 2 years. Obviously, Josh Cook could win it. Mikey Doble could win it. They're going to be out there. I don't think Josh is with the greatest respect that bothered about winning it again. He wants to win the overall title. He's done the Independents, so it'd be kind of nice for somebody new to win it, I think. So I think Chris Smiley's upped his game this year. He's always been a good driver, but he's very consistent this year. He's picked up independent wins. I think he's topped free practice. I know it's only free practice, but he's topped it 3 times this year. So that car's good. That team's good. He's a good driver. He seems to be getting a bit less involved in incidents than maybe he has in the past as well. So I think I would go with Chris to win it this year, but I'm pretty terrible at making predictions. So
But then again, he's got a bit of help with Matt Neal as well, because with Matt being at Restart, helping them out.
Yes.
So that might be another beneficial factor to play involved.
Yeah.
Somehow.
No, it's quite interesting, isn't it, that the old hands, like we talked about Colin Turkington mentoring and coaching, in particular Aidan at West Surrey, Matt Neal in there as well, and you can see it make a difference, can't you?
No, you can't half make it see a difference. It's mad to think. I would just laugh if Jason Plato was mentoring someone. I'd be like, oh Jesus, really? It's no disrespect to Jason Plato, but he's one of them that's been around for quite some time. I honestly thought, why is he retiring when he wants to try and get this 100th race win? But mathematically, I think it was going to be a bit stretched too far, should we say, because of all this new current breed of drivers. But
should get back for one more race, though, shouldn't we?
Yeah, just getting back.
Just one last hurrah! Be good to watch. Just between them,
end up taking each other off track by doing that.
Surely not.
I think the more let's say, mature now, should we say?
Yeah.
compared to what they were back in the day. But
Yeah,
I
it's all
think
entertainment though.
no, it's all. I think it was all just for show and all, just like winding each other up. I think in the end, you never
Yeah,
know. I've got to try and get hold of Matt to try and pencil a date for an interview to come on here. So
it'll be good fun. It'll be good fun.
but yeah,
Mark's made a good point as well. Yeah, Rory Butcher's been coaching Sam Osborne most of last year. I'm not sure he was right at the start of last year, but most of last year for sure, and this year, and he made massive steps forward last year, didn't he, Sam?
he did.
Top tens in pretty much every race at the last sort of 3 or 4 rounds. So yeah, it's quite hard to shine in that team when you look at the drivers that he's got around him. But he's doing a good job. He's doing a really good job.
Yeah, he's got the drivers to help him, but I think some of them are. Well, I think Sam's just trying to bed himself back into that sort of frame. He was unlucky in race 1 at Alton over the weekend, but I think he'll pick himself back up. He always does. It is what it is.
Doing a good job. Yeah, his brother's doing a good job as well, isn't he? He did have his best weekend at Alton Park through no fault of his own. But Jamie's going well in minis for sure. He's going to be hard to beat in that championship this year.
Oh, he isn't hard to beat in that. He seems to have that mini dialed up, even if he does have a few issues there and there.
Tracy's given me a stats challenge. I love stats. He's got the most. Is Ash Sutton the driver with the most wins in a season? I think so. But I will go and check before the next round at Croft. You got 12.
You have to do your homework.
12 in 2023, I think. And I think that was the record. But I am going to check that now. I think it's Ash that's got that though, the most wins. And he's on. What's he on? He's getting towards 50 now, isn't he? He's 46 already.
Like that,
youngest ever 2, 3, and 4-time champion by a distance as well. And she also mentioned Finn Leslie, who did a decent job, I thought. Given it was Alton Park, not easy. The weather was all over the place. The weather was this, that, and the other. It was just about as difficult a start in touring cars as you could have had, I think. No time in the car. And he wasn't that far away, and he got points, didn't he? The final race.
He did in the end because of someone else's misdemeanor. Someone got kicked out for some other issue.
Yes. Now I've gone. My mind's gone blank.
I can't even remember. It did cross my mind.
It was Dexter Patterson got kicked out, didn't he?
Yeah, he got kicked out for ride height or something, didn't he?
Because he'd won. Yeah, because he'd won the independence, hadn't he?
Yeah, he had done.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought Finn did all right. Again, didn't see that one coming. Complete curveball when he arrived. He certainly showed. I mentioned to Alan on air. He's reminded me very much of when Daryl De Leon came in mid-season a couple of years ago, and instantly thought, he's quick. He's not far away, and we'll see. Roll forward a year and a half, and he's a race winner now, Daryl De Leon. So Leslie.
It was a very sort of interesting full season for him last year, and then obviously they switched to sustainable fuel towards the end, and then he just came on leaps and bounds after that.
Yeah,
bit concerning how lack of sponsors there are on that BMW of his, though. But
as long as he's on the grid.
Yeah, exactly. There's nothing against that. It's just it just concerned me, thinking, there's not really much sponsors on that. But then again, he's there. He's proving a point. He's a race winner now. So
yeah, deservedly so as well. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, no, he's good, very good. And think how many years he's got ahead if he stays in the championship.
Yeah.
Although he's not even the youngest driver now, is he?
No, he's not.
Got Finn Leslie in. So, Tracy asked what the garage situation with.
Robo is before Ash, isn't he?
Yeah, I don't know. To be honest, I've never thought about it, but yeah, it is a point.
I've noticed that myself, and I was kind of thinking that shouldn't be right. It should be Ash then Robo, but then Maybe it's just how it is.
Dan got there first.
Possibly. He probably had a fight over it. He'll probably be watching this, bless him.
Ask him
at Croft and see what he says.
Yeah. I may or may not be able to repeat it, but I'll ask him.
No, exactly. Yeah. Some of the his language is dreadful. It's not. It's colourful, and this is probably why, you know, when I talk to him, you know, we discuss things, and some of the stuff he's come out with, it's like, oh my God, I can't really film this, or I really can't, repeat exactly what he said. But the thing is, I think he likes to tell it how it is as well, which.
Well, I don't mind that.
No.
You know, haven't we all had enough of racing drivers that are just reading, you know, pre-prepared statements from media people? You want real people, don't we?
Yeah,
and real emotions. So
I think it'd be on the lines of, yes, I had a fight with Ash, but he's a whatever. It's like there's a TikTok of him on, I think it's on the Napa TikTok, where they're doing sort of a David Attenborough sort of style introduction to Dan. And then he goes, no, Golden Boy, referring to Ash Sutton. And it's like, oh, here we go, yeah. But they get on so well, that's the thing.
No, there's a lot of respect there, absolutely.
Yeah, and it's great to see.
Yeah, and he's holding his own for sure.
Yeah.
So, yeah. No, I mean, if you think this, I think he's been pretty good this year with Alan anyway. I don't remember any swears this year.
No, I think he's trying to remember where he is, I think.
But if you think that's bad, you should listen to DTM Team Radio, because there's no rules in Germany about not swearing on daytime TV.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Full
I might have to then.
Lot of F-bombs.
Hey, that doesn't bother me. I drop a few on here when I'm doing my own video, not interviewing people. So.
No, it's not an issue in Germany. Obviously, for us, as you know, the English-speaking commentators, well, we have to apologise on air if anybody was offended by that. But in Germany, it's not a thing, because their argument is it's just reflecting the
it's free speech, isn't it?
It's reflecting the passion of the event, and that's what people tune in for. So even though kids will be listening to it, they don't apologise for it at all.
That's fair play. But the thing is, I think obviously, you know, there's times where there is going to be colourful language because they're full of adrenaline. Yeah. So really, you should really cut them some slack for that. It's like in F1. They say if a driver swears, they can get done for it. It's like, for God's sake, you're just spoiling the fun out of things.
Yeah, I mean, there's a responsibility for the person asking the question to know when is a good time not to ask a certain question as well. You know, so the driver gets the stick, but you got to look at it both ways. You know, they've just got a racing car. Something may have happened that's, you know, got the adrenaline through the roof. They've had their season ruined or the race ruined or whatever, and then they get a microphone shoved in their face. You know, there's a time, and everybody wants a story and the reaction. And as a driver, you know, you've got to accept that you have to speak to the media, whether it's been a good day or a bad day. But you need to know when to time it as well, and when to let people just cool down for a second.
Yeah. It's very very interesting, because obviously, like I say, I talked to Dan, I talked to his dad, and you know, we talk all manner of things, and there's a few colourful languages there, you know, and it's like, you know, it's how you relate to the fan. You know, you don't look at it and go, you know, this is this is that. So, you know,
Tracy's mentioned Dan Lloyd. He's pretty straight talking as well. That's what I love about those guys. All the Dans actually. Dan Camish is really honest when you speak to him. He'll never shy away from saying if he's made a mistake. I was absolutely heartbroken for Dan Lloyd on Sunday when he had that crash. Yeah, and just the look on his face. It was nice, and he's top bloke. He's a really, he's a great driver as well.
I think he got upset with that because it set the tone in. Was it qualifying? He got thrown out because a little bit of
shouldn't really been in that position in the first place, should he? Because he was. Well, Chris Smiley got into the quick six. There's no reason why Dan Lloyd couldn't have done something similar. So he shouldn't really be at the back of the grid and trying to fight his way through. Yeah.
Yeah, and it really upsets him.
Yeah, because
And I
again,
think,
money's not endless, is it?
no,
There's big damage to a car. It costs money to get that
yeah.
fixed.
And look what happened in 2022 when he had that shunt at Alton. Well,
Mm.
that could have been, yeah, we don't want to really go into details, but that was near enough,
Mm.
season over because of budget.
Mm. I think there's
So,
still, when you're saying to Alan, there's still repercussions from that. It's still,
there is, yeah. He mentioned that, yeah.
Mm.
It's still like physically and mentally because trying to get money for that and trying to recover from that, because it's not easy.
Mm. I'm just reading a message from Rally Ranch. WRC drivers have been fined 10 grand for swearing already by the FIA. 10 grand. That seems a bit excessive.
Steep, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, you won't do it again, I suppose, but
Yeah, I suppose you wouldn't, but
yeah, it seemed a bit harsh. I mean, yeah, I kind of grew up watching racing in the 80s and 90s, and it wasn't really an issue then. I know it's a family audience, it's family friendly, but
yeah.
again, it's not like it's happening all the time, I don't think.
No.
Mark says, do you think Dexter Patterson and Maxwell will stop hitting each other? Hope so. Yeah, that must be a bit frosty in that garage a couple of times this season. Brands Hatch and Alton Park.
Yeah, I think this is where I was trying to be. Obviously, tried to put it nicely earlier.
It's your worst nightmare as a team owner, isn't it? Your two cars go into each other.
Two cars, and one's a new kid, and one's been in BTCC before, and the new kid's getting a bit roughed up, and it's like a playground scrap somehow.
Yeah, and of course they'll have their own point of view. I suppose the issue is they're kind of around each other on the grid, aren't they, at the moment? So that if one was fifth on the grid and one was 15th, it wouldn't be an issue. But
yeah, I think if they spread it out a bit, there probably wouldn't be a problem.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure they'll learn from it and be less of it in the future. He said confidently.
It's about building confidence, and it's about knowing when to push and when not to. Really.
Yeah,
I suppose.
But also, how long have you got to think about it? When you're in that cockpit and you're surrounded by cars left, right, forwards, backwards, you've got a split second to make a decision, haven't you? That's I think
of course, yeah.
When you put yourselves, when you look at it afterwards and you watch it on a replay, you go, "Yeah, I shouldn't have done that." But that's hindsight, isn't it? And it's not being in the middle of the situation at that given moment.
Yeah. I don't think it helped when he gave him a shove at Brands after they both were in the gravel.
Yeah, maybe it's.
I even said after that, it's one way to short track your touring car career if you start using a bit of push and shove, like. But
didn't do Matt Neal and Jason Plato any harm, though, did it?
No, well, it didn't. But then they got fined for nearly punching each other or whatever, didn't they, years ago and all that. But then again, I think they learned from the school of hard knocks. I think.
I think what I've found generally about the last, probably the last 5-6 years, maybe more, in touring cars is there's actually an awful lot of respect between the drivers. They fight hard. Your Ingrams, your Suttons, your Rowbottoms, your Camashears, everybody out there fighting together. But actually, there's not that much animosity. It doesn't seem like that from my point of view. And race each other hard, but they'll have a chat with each other afterwards as well, which is perfect, really.
Yeah, I think that's obviously what we as fans really probably don't see. We see obviously the drivers fighting on track, and there's times where obviously if I'm not trackside and there's a car that's up into Robo, I'm just like, oh, for God's sake, leave him alone, stop hitting him. And it's like, I'm not there, so really it's not my problem. But I think it's because obviously it's the driver you look up to and support the driver. It's like when he was winning at Snetterton, it was like Adam Morgan was getting closer and closer to him. I was like, Adam, just back off, get away from that car. I kept kept shouting at Dan to gap him, and it was like, he's not going to hear me saying it, but it's probably because of the passion, and I obviously, as you know, I've been a fan for years, and I think it's just showing the passion in the blood. That's all it is.
Yeah, of course it is. Yeah, and you'll watch your particular favourite driver, won't you? If you're following them, you'll kind of notice more stuff naturally that's happening to them and around them than if you were just watching everything, not kind of as a neutral, I suppose.
And it's like, obviously, watching Dan race for, like I say, how many years I have done. I don't half get anxious every time he races. It's natural, and there are times like when he's starting on pole position, I'm like, oh, here we go. And I've got to go like this at the telly, or if I'm at Smithson, I'm like, is he going to do it? But then it's just how it is.
You should have seen my mum when I used to kart race. She couldn't watch. To start with, she couldn't watch. She literally turned away, and heart attack every time there was an overtake or got close to somebody or whatever. But by the end of it, she after 10 years of doing it, she was hanging over the fence, shouting, cheering, swearing at other drivers. So it just shows because you're invested in it. It's because you're so invested in it, and that's great because that means you've been hooked by the championship.
Yeah, it's the same with BTCC. It never disappoints. I've always said this to everyone. Never disappoints. There's been times where it's not gone to plan, and I think just showing the characteristic of being a fan, spectator, whatever. You go up to every driver and you don't just go, oh, you took out such and such, why have you done that for? You actually respect them because they, technically to a degree, you're not their best mate or anything. You just there there'd be some people that might have a bit of a problem, but to me, I treat everyone on the grid as respect. It doesn't matter who it is.
That's the great thing, isn't it? It's like all the fans, whoever they're supporting, whichever colours they're wearing, they're all sitting together on the bank, all getting, hopefully, all getting on. And
it's not like in Australia back in the day. It's not like the Ford versus Holden battles in Australia.
No, not quite.
I'd be slightly rude if that came over here, and it was like, why are Napa fans fighting with WSR fans? Why is Speedboat fighting with One Motorsport or whoever?
No, we don't want that. No,
we don't.
Friendly banter rivalry. That's good. That's as it should be. Support your own team, of course.
That's what it is.
But also respect what the other guys are doing. Tracy said, which is my favourite support race? I mean, of all time, the two would be Clio Cup, which I loved, and Ginetta Juniors were mega. Of the current, I mean, I love Porsches, so the Porsche Carrera Cup is cool. It's not necessarily always the closest racing, but there's always something going on because you've got the different classes as well.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
I've enjoyed watching the Sprint Challenge grow as well because it had a tough start. 2020 was the first year, which was the COVID year. Yeah. So that was a tough year to start a championship, and now it's really going well. So again, that's always something going on there because you've got the multi-class structure. There's always some battle going on somewhere. So I think that works well as well. And the minis, aren't they? They're always pretty entertaining.
I think the minis are kind of like the Clios of yesteryear. Really.
They've taken that sort of mantle, haven't they? Yeah. So I think for kind of consistently entertaining racing, probably say the minis just about, but I enjoy them all. Is my honest answer to that. And minis at Thruxton, I've missed Thruxton the last few years. It's just clashed for me, but minis at Thruxton are always good. And old shape minis at Thruxton are even better. If you those couple of races, Andrew Jordan and Jim Smith turn up,
100%. Even it's a shame they were on the bill this year, but it was what it was. So there's quite a few support races that I'd love to see, obviously, make more of, such as the Legends, for example.
Yes, they we've not. They're at Croft, aren't they? But we've not had much of them this year, which is a shame. Because again, kind of, it's like karting. I mean, my background's karting, and that's where I started racing. That's where I started commentating. And there's always something going on. Like there's never a dull Legends races.
No, there isn't.
I mean, it's almost too frenetic sometimes, but it's great.
2023 at Croft, the BTCC, they were there, and I remember watching one of their races, and I thought, wow, these are quite enjoyable. Okay, they're short races, but the amount of action, and the amount of cars that are near each other in that are just phenomenal.
Yeah, I love the way they just get them back out for the next race as well. They're in big sometimes, and they got get them up on start. Well, I mean, they lift them up sometimes. 2 or 3 mechanics lifting them up and working underneath the cars, and they've been very enjoyable to have. I enjoyed Croft last year. We had the classic touring cars as well.
They were there. I wasn't at Croft last year, but I remember watching that on telly. That's another thing that we don't see much of, is the olden days of the BTCC. It would be nice to do sort of a collaboration with the Super Tourers or something like that.
Yeah, just a one-off, sort of once a year or something.
Yeah, which would then bring back memories for me. And obviously, when I was 9, maybe 10 at Alton Park, 1999, covering my ears because Ricard Rydell's Volvo S40 made me burst into tears because I never knew what it was like.
That would be pretty special, actually. Get them as a support race.
If I saw that in real life now, I think it would be quite enjoyable just to hear that. You'd hear that before you saw it, though. That's what I've always said.
We have to get down to the Super Touring meeting at Brandon.
That's too far for me this weekend.
It's a little bit far for you, to be fair, 20-hour drive.
It's like too short notice to put a holiday request in as well.
You would be pretty tired on the Monday morning, I think.
Yeah.
Do you think Crazy Kart should be televised? I'm not sure it needs to be. I think it's quite nice that it's that thing that you get if you're there on the Saturday. A bit of a bonus for turning up on a Saturday. I think it's quite nice.
I've missed it twice in 2 years. Missed it last year and missed it this year.
Yeah. No, it's its own thing, doesn't it? And again, it's a chance to see the drivers, isn't it? And they get 6 or 7 drivers turn up for them normally. So hanging around,
drivers and throw like beach balls and stuff like that.
Robo's pretty good at that, isn't it?
He's off. He's off, is he? He knows what he's doing with that.
Yeah. And Max Hall's done all right as well in a couple of I think. So
Tom Tilton's done well with that as well.
Yeah, I think they could film it and put it in between one of the live races on Sunday, couldn't they?
I think it'd be quite fun to just see a bit of highlights from the Saturday.
But you always got to remember there's some poor camera op that's got to film that at 6 o'clock at night. It's already a long day, and then somebody's got to edit it. So think about it,
put it together. Bleep out Robo swearing if he's swearing at it. I'm just wary at the time, to be honest.
I've no idea what time it is. Oh, nearly 7 o'clock. Yeah. Sorry, I've kept you.
No. You're absolutely 100% fine, mate. I wasn't expecting to be. I didn't really give you the time frame either, did I? So
I just roll with it. It's fine.
If you're happy to.
Commentators like can't shut up once they get going. So.
Well, I'll tell you what. We'll give it till 10 o'clock then, because.
All right, lovely. No, thanks for having me on. I really enjoyed it.
No, it's been great. To be fair, I've been wanting to do this for some time and get more people, such as yourself.
More Wolves fans. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. we get stick for it. Could be worse. Someone could have said Aston Villa are better than Wolves or Bromwich or whatever, couldn't they? But no,
got to let you a secret. My dad's an Aston Villa fan. It's quite difficult.
Mate.
He does weirdly kind of back the Wolves as well. Kind of he might be the only person in the world that also supports Wolves if he's a Villa fan. But so I kind of don't mind Villa because I've got a bit of a vested interest. Obviously, when we play them, we've got to beat them. But,
100%.
Not as bad as the
It's like my mum. It's like my mum's side of the family. They're Villa fans, so I get a bit of stick off them. And then obviously my dad's side are mixed. My cousin's wife's a Wolves fan. There's a Derby County fan in there. There's a Stoke fan. There's all sorts. There's a Bromwich fan. It's like, oh Jesus. I don't know how I cope on family gatherings over the summer.
Bite your tongue. Mark said, do you think the person taking over Steve Ryder will do well? Well, that's a tough act to follow, isn't it? but I'm sure it'll be ITV know what they're doing. As they've proven over the years, hopefully you can see what a good package they put together. So you've got to trust them. But obviously it'll be sorely missed. I mean, I grew up watching Steve Ryder at BBC and Grandstand and everything that he's done, and he's never lost it, as a consummate professional.
I met him at Snetterton this year, and it was very emotional because I asked how he was doing. He said he's not too bad, but I don't think he really wanted to let on, exactly what's going on with his health.
Yeah, hopefully exactly.
And the thing is, he's probably thinking, there's a complete stranger I've never met before. I don't really want to let on. But like all the fans and the marshals and the drivers showed how much appreciation over the weekend.
Exactly.
And it's great to see. And, I think there's big shoes to fill, whoever, obviously, Nikki Shields, I think, replacing him. I think she's got big shoes to fill, but I think she'll do a fabulous job. I'm not going to lie.
So you've got to trust in what they do, because they've put such a good team together. But he'll be sorely missed, that's for sure. But isn't it great to be able to sort of have that longer career and then retire, and then people still don't want you to go? You can't say that, can you?
No, you can't. And
he's just as good now as he was 30 years ago,
Oh, exactly. It was a nice touch that Ash let him do the draw, but I think they kind of actually were saying, I think they were actually technically saying, no, Steve should technically do the draw, because I think us fans wanted that to happen.
Yeah, it's a good gesture, that, wasn't it?
Yeah. Even though he couldn't reach into the bowl at the time, bless him.
We don't see all that, you see, so I didn't see.
Oh, did you not? Oh.
No, we didn't get that picture up in the commentary.
You should have done. You probably would have thought, come on, Steve, pull the number up. I was hoping and this is no disrespect to him. I know he pulled number 9, but I was kind of expecting pull number 6 to get Robo on pole for me, will you? But then I would have been like, yeah, exactly. But it didn't really matter. But it's like, I jokingly said to Jen, Jen's obviously opposite me, but I said to her, I should have had a heart rate monitor at Snetterton, and when we were watching him win at Thruxton on telly. And she's like, you can't say that to him, given his heart surgery. So I can say, what I believe he's won. She's looking at me and laughing now, aren't you?
That's exactly the sort of thing I'd say. Put my foot in it.
She just said no comment, but, but she's not a big touring car fan, but she helps me do these vlogs. So, this is another reason why I've invited you as a guest. So, What?
Make sure you get 10%, Jen.
Did you hear
At least.
But no, in all seriousness, Chris, it's been an absolute pleasure tonight, mate.
Thank you.
It's been a while. I've never actually physically said hello to you at a circuit. Maybe I will do in future.
Yeah, do come and say hello. Come to the box.
But
welcome.
But we can get you on again if you ever want to come on and talk some more stuff, mate. You're more than welcome to.
Thank you very much. And are you at Croft as your local track?
Unfortunately, I'm not, because my mum's coming up for the weekend.
Oh, right, okay. What bring her along?
I might try and blag me stepdad then. But yeah, as I do as a token, I've got my own stickers, but I'll send them as a thank you as a guest.
Oh,
so if you ever want one, I'll send you the picture of one later, and if you want one, just send me your address and I'll send one out just as a thank you. I did it to Alan Hyde last year because it's what we do as a token, to be fair.
That's great. Yeah, I've got my son's a golfer, so he's got his Tin Top Tuesday sticker proudly on his golf bag for all his competitions. So.
I can send 2 out, one for you and one for him, just to
there we go. Stick it on.
Just to do that. But
thanks for all the questions as well. As hopefully I've made some sense.
I had no idea what to ask you, but I just went with the flow and let the community take control, mate, is what I do. So, but yeah, we've got a bigger, probably going to be live for 2 hours tomorrow because it's the 6-year celebration tomorrow.
Yes, happy anniversary.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been emotional, not going to lie. But you probably see that around when you follow the page. So
Keep anything going for 6 years is a good effort. I know how tough it is to get these things up and running.
I'm not going to lie. Just before you go, it's very difficult because with being a mild form of autism, it's very hard to keep focused and keep going what I do. But my community, yeah, I do. Everyone says I do a good job, and I put myself down quite a bit. But
no, you do.
I'm getting Ken's telling me off now.
No, it's fantastic to have a focus and a forum for people to, like you say, it's a community, and away from the racetrack as well. I'm sure the same. You've made friends for life through motorsport.
Yeah, I have, and I think given one of the challenges is trying to put a brave face on everything when I'm having a bit of a day. I'm going through a difficult patch at work at the moment where things are going up and down at the moment. I'm not going to go into details, but these lot pulled me together on a Monday, Thursday or Friday evening.
Fantastic.
And it is what it is. So,
yeah, it's a distraction, just a reminder as well. There's always, everybody has downers, don't they? And
everyone's telling you,
but also, remember that's the minority of stuff, really. And,
of course, mate.
Try and focus on all the good stuff that's around you and that you do as well. So, you're appreciated. So keep it going.
Nice one. Right, mate. I'll let you go because it is, it's not past my bedtime, but it's been 2 hours.
4 o'clock in the morning in your time zone in the far north. So
I don't even know what time it is. It's not even got fully dark out there yet. It's
especially near the North Pole.
That's true, mate. But yeah.
Thank you very much for having me.
No problem, mate. It's been a pleasure. I'll catch up with you soon, mate.
Yeah, come and say hello next time you're at the track.
Oh, I will do for sure.
All right.
All right, mate.
Take care. Thanks, everybody. Cheers.
Yeah, he has done. There we go, guys. I hope you enjoyed myself and Chris Hartley talking all things BTCC, DTM, a bit of banter about being a Wolves fan and whatnot. But yeah, 2-hour live video about that. But I hope you've enjoyed it. Tomorrow, please, if you can, join us from, I think it's going to be 8:45 tomorrow, maybe 8:30 for the 6-year celebration. But if you can't, don't worry. I am live again on Monday for BTCC Part 1 driver ratings, summer break driver ratings. But yeah, really enjoyed tonight. I'm going to sign off because I need to get myself sorted for tomorrow. But yeah, hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, don't forget to smash the reactions. And I'll see you guys tomorrow night. Take it easy. Enjoy the rest of your night and enjoy your day tomorrow. And I'll see you then. Take care, guys. Ta-ra.